right at the heart of Anglicanism is this thing called the Book of Common Prayer. It was written, you might say, hundreds of years ago. It's been updated, and in fact, one of the things I love best about the Book of Common Prayer is that in the preface, there's a line that says something like this: if what was written here ever becomes something that's not in the language of the people, that's a damnable thing, and it needs to be rewritten. So the Book of Common Prayer is really a way to help people have ways of praying. If you've ever did like I've done with 2 kids, taught them to ride a bicycle, they usually start with training wheels. The Book of Common Prayer is kind of like training wheels. It's when you don't know what to pray in the morning, here's a structure. If you don't know what to pray before you're going to bed, here's a structure. And so it's a way of giving people a way of doing what we think of as Sunday morning church or daily prayers. There are prayers in here, services as we call them, for special days of the year, Christmas, Easter, the ordination of a priest. And so it's really been a way that people have commonly prayed. That's why it's the Book of Common Prayer. It gives us a way of coming together around a certain amount of structure that also facilitates kind of community spontaneity and spirit-led spontaneity. Though the Book of Common Prayer facilitates a kind of community conversation with these bits of structures, and while it creates space for the Spirit to move while you're using these structures, it's not just community, it's also personal. So for instance, the way I use the Book of Common Prayer is I use what's called morning prayer. And it's very easy for me to do that. It doesn't take more than 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. You know, I mean, you can kind of do what you want with it because it's only a structure. But often in the morning when I get to work, I have to remind myself to not open my laptop, to not get into the emails and the instant messaging and the Facebooks of the day, but to get out my Book of Common Prayer and open it to morning prayer and put it on top of my closed laptop and start the day that way. I tend to also use it virtually every night in what's called Compline. And Compline is just evening prayers. It's the prayers you say right before going to bed. So the Book of Common Prayer both facilitates a community life and a way of having rhythmic praying in your daily life.